the words no one told me about marriage. Dear beloved, marriage ceremony doesn't make someone your spouse. You want to find a wife or husband to marry. Ironically, a man and a woman would get married thinking it's marriage that makes them husband and wife. How could the world bring two persons together all in the name of marriage, whose destinies are never meant to cross paths? Isn't this the reason for divorce here and there? No matter how people tend to fix marriages, of course some persons are truly meant to be, yet they continually live unhappy with each other and at the verge of divorce. So what could be the solution to these questions? Dear beloved, many are into marriages due to desperation rather than love and purpose. Many marry because they feel they are running out of time. Some marry for the pretty look and handsomeness. Some see marriage as a way out of poverty, whereas others marry just to impress friends and family and probably save themselves out of shame. And as time passes by, realities will begin to unfold. Couples who got married for reasons other than love and purpose will begin to experience a feeling of emptiness in their heart. They need to fill this vacuum or void. Is the reason many stray out of marriages just to satisfy their lust, owing to the fact that they have missed the essence of marriage right from the onset. Dear beloved, I mentioned love and purpose as a bedrock of marital relationship earlier. Yet it is of noteworthy to get this point clearly. You can be in love with someone, but love is not enough to make anyone your spouse. Dear beloved, there is someone for everyone. There is a particular person ordained or wired by God to be a spouse. And you only need the discerning spirit to know it. And the Lord said, "My sheep know my voice." Another major point towards knowing whom God ordained for you is that it comes with signs and wonders. You will experience notable acts that look much like coincidences. Yet in your heart, you will know they are just divine occurrences. Therefore, the first successful steps towards having a blissful marriage is to know and accept whosoever God brings before you. For God knows what we need, despite we are beclouded by what we want. More so, it's not enough to know, accept and love whosoever God brings before you to be your spouse. Even Adam accepted Eve and loved her wholeheartedly. Yet he failed when he gave room to the serpent to get close to her. Do not forget this. It doesn't matter what gift you give to your spouse if you do not realize that your presence is treasured than any present. More so, money can make a woman beautiful and food can make a man happy. Yet it is the positive words you speak into the life of your spouse that change him or her for good. Adam gave the serpent ample time to speak corruption into the life of Eve, and she fell to the devilish ploy. Whom you allow around your spouse determine to a greater extent the attitude he or she displays towards you. Speak words of love into your spouse, and you will see the manifestations of love. Words have power to transform people for good only when it's spoken out of love. As vital and fundamental love could be in human relationship, it is never enough to sustain any relationship if people do not concentrate on building understanding. It's hard turning the lover into a friend, yet much easier turning the friend into a lover. Understanding people gives one better knowledge on how to treat or handle them, because it's easier to know what makes them happy or sad. By understanding, it's easier to maintain space and boundaries so you don't push your spouse's back against the wall. Codependence is not a good way of living with a spouse. Don't live depending on your spouse, as if without him or her, you cannot breathe. By so doing, they get tired of you quickly, as loving someone is quite different from being clingy. You must understand that you are made whole in God's image and likeness. Your joy is not tied to anyone, rather it comes from within. You are made complete, but rather come together for the purpose of procreation, and they help meet unto each other for the purpose that God has assigned unto you right from creation. Being a helpmate is not a reason for a lost identity or destiny. It's a reason to help each other fulfill God's ordained purpose concerning the both of you. Your wife is neither your slave nor your husband a taskmaster. Deal with each other in love and understanding and with mutual respect. Never marry someone who is not teachable, no matter how beautiful she may be or how prosperous he might have amassed wealth. Else you end up having a house without a home. It's hard dealing with people who don't know and don't want to know because they feel they know everything. The mystery of two becoming one is about two people aligning at soul level. The soul is a warehouse of people's emotions, thought, and belief. And for a man and woman to get together as husband and wife, their soul must be in alignment. This is the reason Amos 3:3 said, "Can two work together except they agree?" It is the alignment at soul level that brings about agreement in physical terms. This is when the real bonding begins. Nonetheless, people can agree in physical terms without having a soul tie. Yet this kind of affair do not last long. A perfect soul connection transcends beyond the wedding day or marriage ceremony. For two souls to experience peace and harmony, for some it's just within a short time frame, whereas for others it's a bit longer, depending on how sensitive the couples are. At the time couples begin to experience soul connection, they will begin to think alike and act alike. Stop trying to change how people act if you can't influence how they think, as this would only amount to confrontations and frustrations, because people's thought influences their feelings and their feelings influence their actions. The moment when the thought pattern, the feelings and actions of two partners begin to align, then the feeling of oneness begin to take its course in the marriage. At this time, everything will start working out naturally and almost perfectly well. At this juncture, it's easier to trust because thoughts, feelings, and actions of your spouse could easily be predicted. The ability to predict the behavioral pattern of a spouse increases the chances of love, understanding, and trust. This in turn decreases the probability of anger, malice, or bitterness from occurring, with the overall effect of a lasting and blissful relationship or marriage.